Hi guys, welcome back to the show and this week's movie review. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I will tell you, I stumbled on that so many times, so I'm glad I got it right this time. Alright, so it's been a while since I've been out here to do one of these movie reviews, had some things go on, but I'm glad to be back with a Tim Burton directed film. And if you're familiar with Tim Burton, you know of his visual style, and for when you have films that are a little bit off the wall or a little oddish, you want Tim Burton to direct those type of films. So kind of glad that we got him here on this particular one. So let's talk about the cast of this film. So in this film we're going to have Asia Butterfield, and if you're not familiar with Asia Butterfield, he was in a film called Ender's Game, and he was also up in the casting for Spider-Man. Obviously he didn't get it, but those are some places where you may have heard his name at. Also in this film we're going to have Eva Green, and Eva Green is known for all types of hotness. Yeah. But she was also in the sequel to Sin City. She was also in the sequel to 300, The Rise of an Empire 1. And to be honest, as of late, that's all the movies I can think of that she's been in, because she just seems to get in franchises that are already going. This is one where she gets to establish on her own. Other noteworthy person in this film is actually going to be Sam Jackson. So Sam Jackson, if for some particular reason you don't know what Sam Jackson is known for, he's known for being in every movie. I mean, every movie. Just what he does, I guess. So the plot of this film is that we have Asia Butterfield's character, who has grown up with, or more or less, with hearing stories from his grandfather about this home with these kids with abilities that are under this headmaster who kind of takes care of them and teaches them how to use them. And if you're getting a big X-Men / Harry Potter vibe, that's what everybody kind of got when they saw this film, when they walked out of the film, or even leading up to this film. But I will tell you that when you watch it, it does kind of find its own lane. I will say it's more reminiscent to me to Guillermo del Toro's Pan's Labyrinth, as far as a young child kind of getting stories and having these things kind of unfold in front of them. It's not really spoilers to the movie. This particular movie is spoiler to Pan's Labyrinth, I guess. But that's what I would relate it to. But I would understand how, you know, kids with abilities under a headmaster would scream X-Men. So if you're feeling that might be a reason that might want to deter you from seeing this film, because it's going to be just like X-Men. Trust me, it is not like X-Men at all. Okay, so he wants to know more about the stories that he heard. Were they true? Were they false? After his father passes away under kind of crazy circumstances, and it kind of helps him deal with the loss and, you know, how he's felt about hearing these stories. That's pretty much gonna sum up what the plot of this film is. We don't really do spoilers outside of the Pan's Labyrinth one that I just gave you on these movie reviews. So we're gonna stop there. We're gonna get to my favorite part of these videos, is the goods and the bad. So let's go ahead and start with the goods. So the goods of this film is that, like I said before with Tim Burton, the visuals of his style of movies are always awesome. They're always crazy. They're always kind of odd. And like I said, it fits this movie very, very well. Other goods that I like about this film is that the lore that kind of gets set up in it, it's different. It's original. It's something that, I mean, outside of the X-Men vibe, you haven't seen before. But, you know, you kind of want to buy into also who these characters are. You want to know more about the universe, more about the world. And that was one of the biggest things that I really liked about this film. So I'm going to stop right there as far as the goods. Not to say that I didn't like this movie. The movie was okay, but I want to talk about what I didn't like in this film and the bads. So the bads of this film, it's going to seem like a lot. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, it's not as bad as it seems when I start listing them. I'm not going to list all of them, but there were some problems that I did have with this film, which kind of kept it from being a really good film to me, just to being an okay film. And one of the things when I was talking to you guys about the lore is that it's unfinished for some particular reason. Now, this movie was based on a young adult novel, and a lot of the young adult novels, what they're doing nowadays, are making trilogies and quadrilogies out of them, or quintilogies, or I don't know what comes after 5, but they're making multiple movies out of it, and that might be what they're intending to do on this one, because they don't give you a lot of detail to the lore, especially when it gets towards the end of the film. You thought you knew what was kind of going on and how the world was set up, and then they kind of give you this extra stuff that where they didn't explain it out well. And that could just be because they were expecting to explain more about it than later films. Or it could just be lazy story writing. One of the two. Not quite sure, but that was one thing I didn't like about this film. Other things that I didn't like about this film, speaking about the later part of this film, is Sam Jackson. He's in this film, and yes, Sam Jackson is in every film, but now Sam Jackson's acting has gone a route of he is just Sam Jackson in every film that he is in. He was kind of distracting to me because he was all made up like he is in every movie, but he was just Sam Jackson, to be honest. And I couldn't get past that, and I was like, I wish they had cast somebody else to be this particular role. Somebody I did not recognize, somebody where his personality doesn't scream in his characters like it did in this one. So that was the other thing that I didn't like about this film. And we're gonna stop there as far as my bads. I guess it's gonna come down to, did I like this film? The film was okay, and I know I say that a lot of film reviews, and that's just because they've been giving us okay films recently. They've been giving us okay films. But I think there is a segment of people who would like to watch this film. If you're a fan of Tim Burton, you'll definitely be interested in seeing this film, like with Alice in Wonderland and Batman and Beetlejuice and every other thing that he's done. The other segment are your young adult novel readers of this particular novel. I mean, if you want to see it live on screen, this is the best way for you to do it. I think it looked great. Like I said, the visuals were awesome, and I think that you probably got what you're expecting to get in the books. I know the books are probably going to give you more information and probably fill in the plot holes or not plot holes, the lore holes, I guess, with this film, that you probably got more in the book, and maybe they make more sense to you seeing it as a fan. Other parts is that if you have young children that won't nitpick like I did, I think that they would probably get enjoyment. I took my daughter to go see this. She got a big kick out of seeing this film, but she was more kind of caught up in what was going on screen as far as what was coming at her, what it looked like, the creatures and everything. So I think it's for them. Maybe an older person who is not familiar with the books and maybe not the biggest Tim Burton fan might want to stay away from this one, I guess. It's going to be okay. It's not going to blow you away, but it's something to watch, especially starting our horror season for October. I don't know if I consider this a horror film, but I guess it's on the outskirts of being one. So that's all I got for this movie review. I will get more back into doing these weekly, so make sure you be on the lookout for those. But as always, make sure you like and comment below. Tell me if you saw this film. Tell me what you thought of it. Tell me if you saw the big holes in the lore that I saw. The plot kind of moved along, but I mean, just some of the lore, just like what's going on here. Make sure you tell me below or explain it to me. I'll take that too. Make sure you subscribe so that way you know about everything else that gets ready to that we post on the channel in regards, like I said, welcome back to movie reviews. That's all I got for this week, guys. Take care.